Gen.G up against Power, North America versus OCE. Can't think of a better way to kick off the fall major. We're here in Rotterdam. The players are on the pitch. They're prepared. They're ready. Let's get into it.
Let's get right into it. The B stream has started. We're finally here. The wait is over. Look at that beautiful boost pad. It looks wonderful. Stake your
What do you think it
claim.
tastes like? That,
I mean, I love the font.
I saw somebody post about it on the timeline. What do you think boost tastes like? Somebody said
What
honey.
does boost taste like?
It's got to taste like honey, right?
I mean, we've seen like cars like fill up the boost. I don't think you want to drink that.
Maybe like an energy drink?
Don't
I don't
drink
know.
the boost. Hashtag don't drink the boost. We're underway. Game number one. And we'll see how this one develops over time. Big thing for Gen.G is don't give Power any confidence early on. You know how much momentum in the mental game can be a factor in these round one matches at a major.
Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to Torsauce, I believe, taking down NRG at one point or another at an international stage. He's made upsets happen before. A lot of high moments, a lot of low moments, and Noli able to get that save as a good pinch goes towards the Gen.G half, but rotations are going to stand tall, excuse me. And within the first 40 seconds, we've had action on both sides. Which team will form some possession in the beginning? Chronic up for this aerial, has it on target, but Amphis, nice little save, and Power can look to transition.
Easy save there for Amphis. Had a good read on what Chronic, or where Chronic was trying to place that ball. Just took it too long to get to it. Power get a couple of nice clears in the first minute, but can't really get control just yet. That was a good attempt there by Fever, but apparently Jack, patient, waiting for Fever to play that ball back into him. Now quick pass back over to Nolly, and now Jack actually wins the ball in front of Torsauce. It's a good play here for Gen.G, but Torsauce able to square up on the 50 and almost break out. Appjack gonna keep it in.
Yeah, the vision looks superior so far from Gen.G. Finding each other in the corners. Chronic looking for better possession off the sidewall. Torsauce trying to get that pinch cross. And this all stemmed from this awkward touch from Torsauce where he wanted to pinch it out, but it went nowhere.
Yeah, and third man a little lost on where that touch was going. You see Fever, he committed on the play thinking Torsauce was going to get that touch, and then he tried to full boost back, but it was already too late. Quick pass, easy strike to Gen.G.
And you absolutely understand why Fever in that situation would expect better from Torsauce, but not the way things were drawn up for Torsauce. Couldn't get the Cooksier pinch.
He had the space. You can understand why Fever pushed forward on the play. You have to be able to rely on your teammate in that situation. Gen.G, they're not going to give you many looks like that. But Fever's actually given a bit of space here. Opted for the pass. Jack's there to cut him off again.
Got to be good confidence though for Chronic, the rookie here. International stage. Feels good to get that first goal.
It's funny talking to Chronic's dad last night a little bit. This is a total new experience for him. Esports is a total new experience.
Really? Oh.
But Appjack putting in another.
That's not a new experience for him.
Not at all. Noli picking it up on the assist.
And it's Torsauce again behind the ball with Fever, expecting a little bit too much. Maybe not the best touch coming out from Torsauce. That ball was struck very high, all the way up to the ceiling. Fever couldn't catch up to it, and Gen.G had a far better position.
It's twice almost making the same mistake.
Yeah.
And at this point, if you're Power, that third man, you almost have to be distrustful of the midfield challenge and play a bit more passively, a bit more thoughtfully, because Gen.G are just winning those touches. It was a decent attempt off the backboard. You forced one defender up. Now you pick a quick pass, but he just missed it off the bar. He did make things awkward here for Gen.G. It's high up in front of the box. Enough boost for Power as well. They're diving forward on the play. Chronic, he's got a full tank, not a ton of pressure here, and a big 50 from Jack.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic of discussion where you kind of break down whether or not it's right for you to trust your teammates that much. If you're Fever, do you expect Torsauce to bang every single ball perfectly to you? I mean, you want to take advantage of those situations when it happens. If you don't have the trust, it's not going to work out, but also need to be smart. Decision-making needs to be on point for when you overextend and can trust your teammates.
Saw Fever on that last play. He had control of the ball, but he thought he had time to go get the boost. Jack was able to get to that last 50, and since then, Power, they couldn't get any farther. That's a good 50, but a big whiff, from Gen.G. May push Amphis forward. Jack doesn't get the read. Power stabilizing a little bit. just don't have real pressure in front. This might be the first real chance. Bounces off a Chronic, but he gets back in front of it. Power swings back around. Amethyst wants the side wall. Ceiling reset for Amethyst, and he gets bumped off the play by Nolly.
1:13 on the clock. Flawless rotation from Power within the past 30.
Oh.
They've had good 50-50s, opportunities coming their way, but nobody able to strike it. Where was the follow-up earlier on Amethyst? He did get a shot, but it's not on target. They're crashing the net. They're getting demos, taking the boost, but Gen.G are not giving them any gap on the goal line.
Yeah, I think Amethyst was looking at Nolly on the play. He was expecting a quick clear, and then when it wasn't coming, he had to try to make up for lost time. The ball bounced out in front of him. All that time, Power spent. They got nothing. Fever dives back as the third man. Amethyst is turned around. Nolly just caught out the whole rotation, and Power just not solid on the comms here on their rotation. They're just getting picked out. And Gen.G with some weird whiffs. This could easily be 3-0.
And the possession's just going right back into favor of Gen.G. Power have space on the ball, but are panicking with their touches. They're holding good possession.
Yeah.
At least within the past 2 minutes, but now things have been shaky for them, and I think it's what you were mentioning earlier. It's the communication. They seem very disorganized.
Well, and then you mentioned the panic touches. That was also killing them when they finally did get control of the ball.
Yeah.
The play earlier where Fever puts the ball in the third, but then he goes for the midfield boost and gives Jack a chance at the 50. Why are you giving Gen.G a chance at the 50 when you can just straight up win the ball?
Right.
You got to rely on your teammates to clean up right after you and prioritize the ball, prioritize possession over the need to control the midfield boosts. But they needed a lot more than that. I think there was a lot of little things there for Power. The rotations, catching them off guard, the panic touches, Gen.G just taking full advantage.
And it has not been perfect from Gen.G. There are moments where Power can capitalize, and for Power, I also want to say that there have also been highlights. They were able to hold possession, flowing well into the corners, rotations very solid at times. It just comes down to that trust and decision-making on when you want to overextend. And this is actually exactly what I expected when it comes to Power. They're so dominant in their region individually. They can outpace, out-mechanic nearly any player in their region. And in my opinion, they have the highest ceiling out of OCE. And because of that, it's going to be difficult when you come to an international stage and you're overextending. You're not expecting the speed out of teams like Gen.G because typically you're used to playing against players that you can outpace and you can overextend and not get punished for that.
It's just like on some of those plays though, it does feel like it's a routine play that third man should not be pushing up.
Yeah.
The Power haven't earned optimistic positioning, so they shouldn't be positioning optimistically, right? You have to be able to, or you have to respect that Gen.G are winning that 50 game, and until you start winning those challenges, you can't keep taking risks like that because you're giving up possession when you don't need to.
Yeah.
And like you said, Gen.G, not mistake-free play. They missed a couple of reads on their own backboard. They straight up whipped a couple of times.
Yeah.
So not a perfect game at all. On Aquadome, Power, a couple of things to figure out, but I definitely think there's some room for them to work.
Absolutely. There's going to be chances unless Noli wants to put the first one away. Good job of Power to knock that one out of his hands quickly. Nice transition downfield. Torsas receives it well, but immediately turned around and back the other end with Chronic.
Amethyst already up for it, but Chronic is by everybody. It bounces off the post. Jack was expecting it to pop straight back out. Nolly off the bar, and Gen.G leave points on the board.
That crossbar putting in work for Power, keeping them alive. Accuracy plaguing Gen.G. with some good looks just within the first 30 seconds. This has gone back and forth. Good speed from Abjack. The crossbar again, coming out huge.
A couple of times now. That one a little more understandable from Gen.G. Nolly got out the bulldozer, and Chronic knocks down the net.
Got out the bulldozer, cleared the path for Chronic. And look at the path Nolly takes. He bumps Ampus, he bumps Torsas, and he says, I don't even need to touch you, Fever, because I know this one's gonna get smacked all the way past the goal line.
Excellent 50 to set that all up from Nolly. Gen.G start off quickly again. Those crossbar hits don't come back to bite them. And now Power, it's about how they respond. Torsas just lodged against the corner. Fever pumps it away. Power got to find a way to shorten up those clears, find teammates, because hitting it right back into blue cars is not going to be successful for them. Fever gets up a giant clear. Ampus kind of, or Jack kind of got in his way. Jack does get the clear. Gen.G get another one out.
But look at the difference whenever Gen.G can control this ball and take it out of their own half. They're keeping it to themselves. The first touches are much more controlled. Meanwhile, Amphis, he's early flicking this ball because of the pressure out of Gen.G, and they can't keep control. There's no possession for Power on transitions, just 50-50s, hoping that something will go their way, but otherwise they're going to get rejected like that from Knowledge.
And the follow-ups aren't even forthcoming for Power. It's just, okay, as soon as Gen.G win the 50, now we rotate back. So they tried to make that adjustment, but now it comes to that follow-up again. They win the 50 this time, but can they set it up? Amphis goes for control. He throws Jack, but Jack actually chased him out. Like, got a piece of it. And, from Noli might give them a chance, but Amphis, he couldn't jump for the ball, he didn't have boost.
But there's still moments of weakness for Gen.G, where the touches might not be too accurate.
They're just playing keep away.
Yeah.
It's like they're going side to side when they see Power are structuring for the shot. And look at that, right front, Noli jumps right in front of the box and gets the second for Gen.G.
You talk about earning optimistic thinking and positioning. You definitely earned it there with Abjack's 50-50. Nolly knows he earned it, and he pushes all the way up into your own net, into your own box, wins the challenge, and puts it in. Gen.G, the decision-making, they know when they can push up, they know when they can overextend. It's not the same story for the orange side.
Catch from Torsas, good leave to get it back to Fever. Then the play starts to die on the corner. 50 works out for Fever, and Torsas can come in, but didn't end up making contact. Another easy clear for Abjack. And the midfield presence has just been non-existent from Power. They are always rotating the whole way back to their wall and forcing themselves to play a full-field counterattack. They gotta find a way to structure themselves in midfield against this Gen.G team. It's not as if it's unavailable to them.
I mean, look at it right now. You see Amphis has to back it up in the midfield, hit the reverse, and try and get a better challenge, try and find some better positioning. But overall, you would expect him to have a quicker challenge and know a bit more of how Gen.G want to play this. And understand that they are opting to go for possession, keep the ball close. This is the first touch. Again, close to him. Abjack, air dribble, not over one, but forces a better 50-50. And we're back with all this possession for the blue side.
Power have been managing the boost effectively, but that's about all the effectiveness they've been getting. Every other touch has just been a lob up. Jack locks them into the corner. Chronic next up. Power just slower. Chronic just a little better. Nolly tries to set it up, but couldn't get much going. He does wait in the corner. The ball comes right back to him, and he went for the neutral hop down onto the ball, but couldn't get enough force.
Oh, and finally one clear does come out, but intercepted immediately from Chronic. Good pass across. That is what is needed from Power. Vision, looking to set up a play. We want more of that with 40 seconds remaining. Maybe you can throw something else on the board. Otherwise, Gen.G are going to walk away and put this on match point.
6 shots for Gen.G.
Oh, here we go.
And Amphis gets the breakout, getting the first goal for Power in the series.
And that's got to feel good. This was a nice little turnaround with the rotation. Amphis got the demo of the last man back, and then a quick turn to capitalize and punish. That clear came out at the ideal time for Power.
Didn't buy themselves a ton of time on the clock, and with the amount of pressure that Power have had, which is 2 shots. They've had 2 shots on net.
That's all they need, though. Well,
they need a little bit more. They might get it off the bar. Torsas trying to get it across. Fever trying to keep it close. Nolly gonna wait for him. Fever gets it across to the corner. Abjack pops it up, but the rest of Gen.G have to wait. Nolly happy to do so. And again, where's Torsas in the midfield line? Power were absent, and now they're gonna have to play from their own back wall. Torsas carrying it out.
Seconds.
Got the 50. Looking for the shot. Amphis goes for the fake, but Gen.G aren't fooled. Up 2-0 in the series.
Bounce does not go their way either. And just like that, Gen.G are making their mark in the first series. Moments for Power. Like that last bit where you see Torsas backing off the ball.
Now they need to be more aggressive.
They go for a more passive play style.
Before they were too aggressive, now they were too passive.
Maybe they're trying to overcompensate. They got a little bit too confident in the first game. Then they think, okay, game 2, we need to back it up a little bit and relax here.
They just don't have the same control.
Well, and that comes down to the first touches. If they're coming out of their own half, you'll notice Gen.G, every single touch is within their own grasp. It's within their own reach. And you cannot say the same for Power. They're either going to just try and boom this ball to the other side, or maybe keep it close, but you immediately got something from Gen.G challenging you, forcing a better 50, and just like that, all your possession, everything you had building and going for you is gone.
Amphis and Fever are more than capable mechanically. We've seen them pop off. We know that they have the control to be able to keep the ball close. But you watch Abjack, Nolly, and Chronic. Easy air dribbles, forces power up. They're using a lot of boost, and the clears always go, or the challenges always go towards Gen.G's side. Gen.G are always ready for it. They're letting Power hit the ball. They're like, okay, Power, you want to play this? We know you don't have the control. So they're just playing what Power are giving them. Until Power start controlling the ball more, Gen.G aren't going to respect it. They're going to keep pressuring.
Yeah. It's all about control. That's the name of the game, especially coming into the match point for Gen.G. They have been dominant, but sound like a broken record. There have been moments, been chances for Power. It's not a flawless game out of Gen.G. It's just more controlled, effortless approach from Gen.G.
I think the biggest thing for Power, the one goal that they did score was off of a demo, and that doesn't mean just go for more demos, but that does mean kind of be more aware on the line as you're rotating around. If there is one available, go for it. Look, Amphis chasing Abjack down. Fever knows it, but that control, he leads it back to Torsos. Abjack, the shot was way too slow, and he got the save. And a little off the post as well. Nolly gets Abjack down on the clear. Abjack chasing, but Torsos got it.
But the aggression, the demos did spark some opportunities for Power, and now it's going to spark some extra space for Fever, but immediately turned around. Anytime there's space, anytime you see Power looking to control the ball, they always have somebody right there for a challenge, Dorby.
That was Fever controlling the ball, gave himself a chance at the follow-up 50, and he won it big time. Now look at Power. More authority in the midfield. That time Nolly had a good read off of the poor touch, but Power are approaching the game differently now. Amphis, the touch close, he gets over Jack. And over 2 is Chronic going to rotate back. And while every touch isn't going to be threatening, look at the demos again. That's another one. How many demos is that? That's 3 more than they had last game.
Full boost to work with Fever. Mechanics, you know, he's capable of. Good 50 from Chronic, however. Sets up Abjack off the backboard. Pressure coming through. And then a whiff from Fever, panicked play on the defensive side.
And then a double
players double committing. All over the place, scattered is the defensive Power.
Nolly, look, he's just pushing Fever off the wall. Now Chronic's got a lane, and he couldn't force it in off the post. Amphis, he's going up the net, and he just misses it off the bar. Amphis lost floating in his own net. Gen.G score.
It's literally just been keep away for Gen.G the past 40 seconds. This ball knocked high and wide above the net, forcing double commits, using their boost, wasting their boost, and eventually you will get an even easier shot. Gen.G strike first.
But I do like how Power have adapted as the series has gone on. If they had looked like this in game 1, they might have been able to punish Gen.G on those few mistakes we saw early. But Gen.G aren't really making many mistakes. Look at Nolly on the reset, but no one's there to follow it up. Chronic, seeing Amphis had the read, had to pull off. Well, look at Amphis getting a little tricky on the wave. Got the ball bump, and Amphis, I don't know how that one worked out, but Power get their first time.
It looked almost like a fake here because you're anticipating a stronger flick. The early touch right here, he flips into it. Abjack already jumped expecting more power from Amphis, but it's that little fake, that weak touch that slips him up.
I really wonder if that was a fake or if he just side flips. Either way, you take it.
Yeah, you just call it a fake. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. All fakes.
You've earned the right to say it was a fake at that point.
Oh, Abjack just might have split the whole Power defense apart. Torsos got the touch off the corner.
KBM player coming out strong. Amphis might be able to get a free set and a better 50, but Abjack able to sniff it out.
Oh, if Amphis lands that reset, that would have froze Gen.G.
Yeah. Look at the confidence though from Power. Big clears, you've got somebody there. Pass connecting. Power so much better here on match point.
Just wanted a little bit more out of that shot. And Gen.G still trying to control the pace of the game with these passes over in the air. See Nolly waiting for Torsos, pulls it out. Abjack can get the 50. Now Gen.G conducting once more. Chronic diving across off the post. And Torsos, an unfortunate own goal as he turns up the field.
Wow. Silence here from the face cams of Power. There's not much you can do about that.
Don't turn up there.
I don't know, man.
Don't turn up there.
There's got to be a little bit of unfortunate circumstances.
Tap the brakes.
A little bit unlucky, and also slightly to blame too for not going behind the goal line just to make sure that that never happens. But Power, that's not the way you want to concede.
Well, look at Power already getting down the field. Amphis playing it close. He didn't like what he saw against Nolly, and Applejack moves down the field again. For Power, really looked like a different team in game 3. Amphis on the catch, but his flip timing a little off. Torsas can't get back to the 50, but he does bump Jack out of the way. Kind of space is created by Power. Nolly actually got pushed off the ball, which is why he's slow. And Torsas, not the best touch for him. Applejack found Chronic. The rest of Fever and Amphis had to rotate back. They're looking for that quick counterattack strike, but they haven't found it.
Slightly more organized, though, is Power. There was an opportunity that you might have seen a double commit, but
Amphis?
organized and the communication coming strong. Amphis was looking for something spicy. Doesn't get it. Now we've got the final 60 seconds. Power, they need at least one goal to force an OT.
Applejack letting the ball fall to him in the corner. A little pirouette in front of Torsas, but Torsas just straight up caught the ball off of him. Now Amphis up against Chronic, drills it through him. Fever's there, but can't quite push it towards Gen.G's net. Oh, Torsas, again, the timing a little off. It's a good catch. They didn't have that control. What a pop on the flip reset. 2 commit from Gen.G, but they're running out of time.
Power, less predictable, more ferocious. The defense still has been scrambled, but there are chances on offense.
Still loose.
And with 20 seconds remaining, now you got to throw everything you have at the defense.
Fever just did it. Torsas not touched, left Nolly frozen. Amphis, Fever has to turn around on the half flip. Nolly got his boost stolen, but he had the ball. Now racing to the other side of the field. Amphis denied by Nolly, and they need a big clear right here. Amphis beat by Chronic on the play, and he puts it into the net. Oh, 2 goals for Gen.G come off of orange cars.
Oh, man.
And Power. Oh, they gotta feel gutted after this one.
You don't really blame that touch from Fever. He was going up, didn't know Chronic would get the follow-up after the bounce. 1 second remaining, it's not enough time. That's gonna seal the deal. Gen.G, their first series here at the international stage, and they absolutely teared down Power.
Gen.G 3 goals on 2 shots.